So whilst you go around and there's a cry for jobs and you give them all this assurance of the big push, the 1 million jobs and all that, the question many keep asking is, where is John Mahama going to get the money from, especially when there's a record of high debt that the current administration is doing. In fact, checking this morning, we are told that Ghana's debt is 263 billion cedis, which the World Bank has warned that may go up. Where is the money going to come from so it doesn't add up to the already ballooning debt?
This government has been very reckless with borrowing. I mean, if you think about the quantum of debt they've added to Ghana's public debt stock, it's unbelievable. Absolutely. You know, and it's going to go even higher. I mean, currently, the debt to GDP is about 73%. By the end of the year, to be about 75%. And that is way over the 60% recommended, you know, debt to GDP level. And then aside from that, the deficit by the end of this year would be about 15% of GDP. And so 15% deficit when the target should have been below 5%. I mean, it shows a very reckless management of the economy, you know, and now they are putting all the excuse on COVID. But the economy was tanking already before COVID. Let me tell you something that happened. Last year, they were unable to, 2019, they were able to meet their domestic revenue target. This government is a very deceptive government. You know what they did? They went to 2 commercial banks and borrowed money at commercial interest rates against the accounts of 2 of their largest taxpayers and used it to fill the gap for last year and said, oh, they met the target. I mean, that's against the financial administration regulations, completely criminal. And yet that is the kind of thing this government does. You know, has a different set of figures for the public and the parliament. And
Dr.
has a
Bobby
different...
has listed a gamut of things they've used the money for.
And, I mean, what? Just tell me. Anytime you ask, they say free SHS. Free SHS is funded from oil revenues, the ABFA. It's not debt. It's funded from the ABFA. And how much have we spent on free SHS? 3.6 billion. It cannot account for that huge borrowing. But like you're saying, we started the idea of smart borrowing. You know Terminal 3. You know that Terminal 3 is not on the public debt. You are aware?
Yeah.
Yes, because what we did was we just released, we released a full passenger service tax, you know, to Ghana Airport Company. We used to take 60% of it into the consolidated fund. We released the entire amount to Ghana Airport Company and said, look, improve your airports, do it on your own balance sheets. And it is based on that, the work in Kumasi, the Accra Airport, Terminal 3, the work on the apron and everything were done. Meridian Port Services are partners with Gapoha. We wanted an expanded port. We asked them to build and expand the ports, you know, with their own, on their own balance sheets. And so they borrowed on their own balance sheets. It was not added onto the public debt. And so we can do smart borrowing. We're going to dualize the highways. When we dualize the highways, we're going to put toll booths there, you know, so that we can recoup the money. Time a motorway was built, we've recouped the money for the motorway many times over, you know. And so there are a lot of these things that you can do, especially with economic infrastructure, so that you're able to recoup whatever you put into it. And so we're going to do smart borrowing. We're going to collateralize parts. You know, we did an investment vehicle called the Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund, and we committed some revenues to it. We put $270 million there. This government has dissipated it. But that vehicle was going to be used as an investment vehicle to attract funding to develop our infrastructure. We're going to rejig that idea and commit part of our oil revenues into that investment vehicle. And we'll use that investment vehicle to borrow, to invest in the economy.